I took the Carnival Venezia on its maiden voyage from Barcelona, Spain to New York. So, what did I think? Here's my full review of the Carnival Venezia. You're watching Cruising with D. Okay, stop the video. Before we go further, I want to explain to you why this review is a bit controversial. Here's the deal. I, for the most part, have given the Carnival Venezia a very positive review. I have a couple things I don't like, and you're going to have to watch the review to figure that out, but I came back, I couldn't have been happier about this ship, and then I made the mistake of going on all my Facebook groups about the Carnival Venezia. I went on Cruise Critic. Right here on YouTube, lots of the reviews have not been positive. And this perplexes me because I really, overall, thought the Venezia was a wonderful ship with a wonderful crew. So I think you should watch my video and find out why I did love this ship. If you're going to go on the Venezia, do not take all the naysayers to heart and see what I have to say. And even though I was on the transatlantic, it's true that many of the things that I am reviewing in this video are things that are going to remain true no matter where this ship is. The entertainment, the food, the casino, the shops, most of that is going to be the same wherever you are. The one criticism that I have seen very often and that I could not tell you about because of the weather was that people think that the air conditioning in the public areas of the ship is not quite enough. And I was on a transatlantic for mostly, we had cold weather, so I can't speak to that, but you should see how that will affect you. Also, it's a large ship. It's going to have a lot of people. A lot of people means lines. It maybe means some bumps in service depending on what times you want to eat, what times you're getting drinks, and that is just something that happens with a large ship. I do hope that if this becomes a persistent problem, that Carnival will add more staff to the ship in those problem areas. But overall, please see my review. I think that you will enjoy it, and if you're going on the Carnival Venezia or thinking about it, you should see my review as well as some of the negative ones out there. So here you go, my review of the Carnival Venezia. You're watching Cruising with D. For my review of the Carnival Venezia, I'm going to look at the following categories: the ship, including its layout, the staterooms, the food, the entertainment, service, bars and drinks, casino, activities, and the shops. I am going to give each category a rating from 1 to 5 suitcases, with 1 suitcase being don't bother to pack, so poor, and up to 5 suitcases, which means grab those suitcases and pack right now. This is excellent. Please note that when I review a category, I'm reviewing it against ships that are of a similar type of ship and price. I'm not going to compare, for instance, the food on this Carnival ship to the food on a Region 7 Seas cruise. My reviews of this ship are for the category of large cruise ships from large mass market brands such as Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and MSC. So let's dive right in. Let's start with the layout of the ship. I really enjoyed the Carnival Venezia cruise ship itself. It is beautifully appointed with more of an elegant air than similar Carnival ships, and with an Italian theme. It's right there on the ship, Carnival Fun Italian style. It has a beautiful 3-story atrium with a bar, live music, shops, and services surrounding it. Deck 5 was a favorite of mine, with a sort of restaurant row on the interior and lots of deck space you can walk around on the exterior, with the Terrazzo Carnevale area at the back. Deck 4 has the casino, punch liner, and the Heroes Tribute Bar. Above the Lido, on 11, are all sorts of nooks and crannies to read, watch the ocean or Lido, play games, and way above the Lido, there's a nice fun zone, including a splash zone with slides, a rope course, an arcade, and on Deck 15, a fantastic Serenity deck. I'm not going to go into more detail on the ship's layout here. For that, please watch my 6-part walking tour series on the Carnival Venezia. What we do need to talk about here is the one major thing I loved for this ship, but which I think will be a problem for Caribbean trips, and that is the Lido and the pools. For transatlantic, the Lido is beautiful. It has 4 corners of food and drink, including the Java Blue Cafe and the Rococo Bar, plus lots of table and chairs that are in the shade for eating. It also has a retractable roof, which will be great for those colder cruising days coming out of New York City. What the Lido doesn't have is a large pool or lots of space for lounge chairs surrounding it. Although the Burano pool at the back of that deck does solve some of the lounging space problem and also provides another pool, and there are also loungers facing the ocean on deck 11 outside. I do not think all of this will be adequate for Caribbean itineraries when everyone wants to be sunning themselves where all the action is on the Lido. So I rate the ship's layout at 4 suitcases. Overall, I truly enjoyed the ship and found it easy to navigate, with the caveat that if you are taking this ship for a true fun in the sun type of cruise, my rating would be closer to 3 suitcases if swimming in the pool and laying out in the sun on the Lido is what you want to do. Now let's look at staterooms. Our stateroom on the Venezia was a terrazza cabana room. For all the details about the room, please be sure to watch my video on the room and the terrazza Carnival area. The interior of the staterooms are all nicely appointed, with most room styles having a separate couch. The beds are on the hard side but still comfortable. Lots of plugs and USB ports make charging all your electronics a breeze. The bathrooms are small, but not as small as on the new XL ships, and the glass-enclosed shower is a fantastic upgrade from older Carnival ships. No wet shower curtain on your backside, which is greatly appreciated. There are small refrigerators in the room, and there's lots of lighting as well. And just so you know, my terrazza cabin interior is the same as the interior for the regular balcony cabins. I particularly did love the little yard that my terrazza cabana provided. The interior rooms on the ship are on the small side, but what you would expect. My 2 criticisms of the rooms are, first, I think that there is less storage than in most other Carnival ships. There are practically no shelves in the closet or drawers anywhere, plus limited shelf space for toiletries in the bathroom. And second, there are very few suites on the ship, only 23 suites for a large ship of 4,900 guests. My rating is 4 suitcases overall. Yep, totally worth packing those suitcases for these beautiful staterooms, but don't pack too much because it's hard to stay organized in the room with the lack of storage. Now let's talk food. I loved the food on the Carnival Venezia. The food in the main dining room, also known as the MDR, was the best Carnival MDR food I've had in over 10 years. I enjoyed the new Italian-themed menu items, everything from eggplant parmesan to polenta to spumoni for dessert. It was nice to have these additional menu items, which were tasty, hot, and well prepared. Entree portions overall were much bigger in this MDR than on other ships. Flavor was excellent, not bland at all, and also not too salty. The roast chicken on this ship was some of the best roast chicken I've had anywhere. I'm also a big fan of the specialty restaurants on board. I enjoyed Il Viaggio, the new specialty Italian restaurant, although I did think it was a bit pricey for what was offered. And the chef's table was, again, the best of the 3 chef's tables I've done on Carnival. Also had a very good bonsai sushi meal, and the seafood shack was excellent as well. Oh, and then we had a delightful special steakhouse brunch as part of our terrazza perks. Finally, as always, the thin-crusted Pizzeria del Capitano pizza was delicious and authentically Italian. Guy's Burgers and Tomodoro, also fresh and delicious. I'm less enthusiastic about the buffet, but then all the buffets on ships have been disappointing for me since the pandemic. I've never been a huge fan of buffets on cruise ships, and the offerings seem to be cut way back. There's so much less variety on the buffets, including on the Venezia. On this ship, the salad bar was still good. Most of the food was still warm, although I would have liked to have seen more choices and a couple of permanent stations like a Sea Dogs or like a gyro and falafel station. One great addition was a very good Chinese buffet at the Seafood Shack, which added much needed variety. Coffee was strong and quite good, and there was a small midnight buffet each night for people staying up. For all of the food details, I will be doing a full food review, but my rating, thanks to the wonderful new Italian MDR selections, the hot temperature of most of the food, and the specialty restaurants, are a 5 full suitcases for food on the Venezia. Entertainment. Entertainment will vary based on your cruise director, the fun squad, and your playlist production cast. For my Venezia cruise, I can't say enough good things about our cruise director, Mark Q, plus our fun squad and production cast. We had deck parties, white night, rock and glow, and a new 50s sock party, a silent disco on Lido. There were wave morning shows, there's bingo, family feud, deal or no deal. Mark Q and the fun squad kept the fun going and the spirits on the ship high. My only slight quibble would be I'd like to see a little more line dancing at the parties and a little less competition games. I go to the deck parties to dance off all the food I've been eating. I also loved our particular playlist productions cast. Very talented. The singers could also dance and the dancers could also sing, which is not always the case on a cruise ship. and they had amazing stage presence. The main stage productions we had were the Epic Rock Show, the Vintage Pop, and Color My World, which is a relatively new show only playing on a few Carnival ships. Also, the costuming and the production values, including the digital screen and the Teatro Rosa, were excellent. The other major reason I'm giving entertainment a rating of 5 suitcases is the live music. All over the ship there was live music, and also for some of the stage shows such as Vintage Pop, not pre-recorded, the music was live. The most outstanding of the live music groups was the rock group on the ship, which consisted of 7 pieces, including a 3-piece brass group plus 2 vocalists. When they performed in the evenings, the gondola bar was standing room only. There was also a 3-piece strings group, a 2-piece folk music act, a Latino duo, and more. I love that there was not only live music, but a great selection of live music all over the ship. Well done, Carnival. You truly deserve those 5 suitcases for entertainment. Now to service. For service on the ship, I really had to think about what my rating would be. First, I want to give shout outs to Elite, one of the best cabin stewards I've ever had on Carnival or any ship. Friendly, efficient, happy to help with any requests we had. Also a shout out to Zora in the Carnival bar area. She made our wonderful espresso coffees every morning and made a killer chocolate martini for me. She got to know us and practically had our preferred coffees and drinks prepared before we asked for them. We had lots of other personalized friendly service on the ship, which has been one of the reasons I've been a Carnival cruiser all these years. I truly think the staff is wonderful. The one area that I had some difficulty with was the MDR. I understand that there were some visa problems in Barcelona, so that the ship ended up a little short-staffed. This created some service difficulties, including long waits for tables at the MDR some nights and also long waits for food on some evenings. There was also a very difficult situation for the sea day brunches. My husband and I are pretty flexible for our dining times and options, so once we decided to eat late instead of earlier and also decided to skip most of the sea day brunches, these problems went away for us. We ended up having overall very good dining service, especially I'd say the last 10 days of the ship. So I've only taken 1 suitcase off for this with the expectation that these problems will have been solved for the cruises out of New York. So overall, I've given 4 suitcases for service on the Venezia. Bars and drinks. I'm not going to linger on bars and drinks because I'm not the best person to review them. My husband and I are very light drinkers. That said, we like to sit in the bars before or after dinner with a drink in hand, lots of times non-alcoholic, listening to the live music. As mentioned, there was a ton of live music at the bars. The variety of bars on the Venezia is excellent. The Rococo bar on the Lido, the Pergola bar on 11, Amari, which is like the Alchemy bar on other ships. We've got Frizzante, which has got like a focus on bubbly champagne type drinks. The Gondola bar with live music and dancing, the bar at the Piazza San Marco Atrium, and the Carnivale bar. The specialty drinks were delicious, if expensive, often $15 for 1 drink. Drink service was usually fast when we did want a drink. We liked the menus for the specialty bars such as Amari and Frizzante. So overall, we're going to say 5 suitcases for the bars and drinks on the Venezia, thanks to the great bar service, the bartenders, the variety of drinks, and the special drink menus. Now over to internet. The internet on the Venezia is Starlink. Worked extremely well even in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. We had no trouble with emails, with websites, even watching YouTube videos. I had some trouble uploading videos, but if I did it on an off time and I was patient, I could even upload a 4K video. So overall, I would give the internet 5 stars, except that it's extremely expensive and only allows 1 sign-in per internet plan. This meant that my husband and I had to keep trading the login back and forth after spending over $300 for premium internet on this one cruise. So it's a 4 suitcase rating for me, but I was very pleased with the speed and usability of internet overall. I hope that Carnival will consider allowing 2 internet logins per plan, especially for some of the longer cruises like this transatlantic. Now over to activities. For some reason, I just didn't gel with the daytime activities aboard this ship. Where were the line dancing classes out by the pool? Why was there so much trivia? So much trivia, an activity I do not enjoy on cruise ships because if you are not part of that trivia tribe, you don't stand a chance. Another irritation for me was that karaoke was nearly every day in the late afternoon in the Carnivale bar area. So when my husband and I wanted to enjoy our private Carnivale area at the back of the ship, we had to listen to the karaoke that wafted right back there. It was not relaxing at all and not a premium experience, just not a proper venue for karaoke. There's a bocce ball court and there's a daily bocce tournament. There's ping pong. There's many self-guided activities such as Carnival Waterworks with the 3 slides. There's ropes. There's a mini golf course and an arcade. I also don't count activities such as shopping, sales, or art auctions in my activities because they are too oriented at getting you to part with your money. I'm giving 3 suitcases here because I just wasn't impressed with the organized daytime activities on the Venezia. Now let's consider the shops on board. There was a large selection of shops on the Venezia. A very large Carnival branded store with great Venezia branded merchandise, a luxury handbag shop with pre-loved designer handbags, a sunglass shop, a liquor store, several clothing stores, a watch shop, candy shop, and a jewelry store. And I'm sure I'm leaving something out. The shopping is more upscale than on many ships with luxury brands such as Cartier, Marc Jacobs, and Gucci. I like the way most of the stores are situated around the central atrium. I am giving 5 full suitcases for shopping on the Venezia, and you'd better bring an extra suitcase for all the stuff you might buy on board. Now the casino. The Venezia has a very large casino for a ship its size. It has plenty of slot machines and tables, and the slot machines are brand new. I found the drink service to be quick and available. However, unlike most other Carnival ships, there is no casino bar. Technically, there is a smoking and a non-smoking side of the casino separated by a walking path. In reality, the whole casino smells of smoke. There's also a separate non-smoking annex that is totally smoke-free with table games and some slots, but the vibe in there was off to me, so I didn't gamble there as much as I wanted to be gambling in a non-smoking environment. Also, although you do have to walk through the casino to travel the entire length of the 4th deck, from, let's say, Punchline or Comedy Club to the Piazza San Marco atrium, it is very easy to traverse the ship on 5 instead and just go down a level to avoid the smoke. Due to the size of the casino, the variety of games, and the availability of drinks, plus the availability of a non-smoking annex if you must have one, I will give the casino 4 suitcase rating. 1 suitcase got left on the plane due to the smoke issue and the overall lack of a casino bar. So what's my verdict? Averaging out the ratings for all categories, the Carnival Venezia overall gets a solid 4 suitcases. I'd happily pack my bags and take another trip on this beautiful ship. My lowest rating at 3 suitcases was for daytime activities, and that won't be as much of a consideration for the shorter Caribbean cruises. My highest ratings were for food, entertainment, bars and drinks, and shops, which all received 5 suitcases. And with a solid 4 suitcases, I've got service, internet, and the casino. If you're looking for a more upscale Carnival ship with all the fun ship bells and whistles, the Venezia is a good choice for you. I also think with its retractable roof and its ambiance, it's a great ship to be home ported in New York. The Carnival Venezia, truly Carnival Fun Italian style. That's it for my review of the Venezia. Don't miss my 6-part walking tour of the ship, which will give you so much more information on all of these categories and a real feel for what it will be like to cruise on the Venezia. I also will have videos for you separately on food and entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything, and please give us a like if you've enjoyed this video. Plus, if you're interested in how the transatlantic journey was, check out my video, Transatlantic Cruise, Yes or No. Until next time, thank you for joining me. You've been cruising with Dee.